check on your friends in the South. They might not be doing too well today. This is the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for Dolly Parton. Legendary musician, died 80 years old. This is the live shot. The star for Dolly Parton on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Princess Kimberly, Warlord, welcome in. Sorry for being late. I had some computer issues for some reason. We're going to do a short, abbreviated news show, and then we're going to be watching Dolly Parton television appearances, concerts. Going to be a Dolly devotional tonight. I'm sorry, Warlord. We do have a very close contest, according to polling. Within a tenth of a percentage point is what the final polling for Darlene Graham and Ralph Northam looks like. It could be a nail-biter.
She's a singer, songwriter, actress, entrepreneur, and philanthropist, and a lot of people tell us that is one of the reasons.
But I'm sorry, just like, nobody gives a shit about South Carolina. Dolly died. That's kind of a much bigger story. Especially because I'm from Kentucky, but when I say I'm from Kentucky, I'm from like 40 minutes from Tennessee. I went to college in Tennessee. I went to college about an hour from where Dolly was from.
This afternoon, we are just getting word that Dolly Parton has passed away at the age of 80. The legendary country singer, known for hits like 9 to 5, Jolene, I Will Always Love You, and Islands in the Stream. She was also...
I was singing Islands in the Stream in my head earlier, and it kept turning into Ghetto Superstar, which, once again, a huge hip-hop song. I'm pretty certain Dolly has a writing credit on that, because that is absolutely her song.
Hits like 9 to 5, Jolene, I Will Always Love You, and Islands in the Stream. She was also known as an incredible philanthropist. And for her theme park in Tennessee, Dollywood. Our contributor, Megan Wright, joins me now on the phone. Megan, this happened so fast. We got word just moments ago. How do you even sum up Dolly Parton's career in just a 3-paragraph?
You can't.
To you, there is so much to talk about, but we know that she was having...
We're going to watch hours of Dolly Parton content on Twitch after this, and we aren't even going to scratch the surface of her legendary career.
Her representatives that she passed away. I guess first start with anything that you might know that led to this, and then let's take our time talking about this incredible woman that impacted so many people for decades.
Oh, Kira, first I want to say that I'm just, when I heard words can't explain, just as being a DJ and somebody in the music industry so long, regardless of what genre you work in, you know and you appreciate Dolly Parton. And I'm actually currently in Nashville, and I had walked into a grocery store and people had gotten the news, and you can just see people stopping and strangers talking to each other and kind of consoling each other because, you know, just being in Nashville and being, you know, where people love Dolly so much, you can see how everybody is impacted by what happened. I mean, and yes, as you mentioned, she has been recently struggling with her health. dating back to last year, there were some moments. I remember there was a time when her sister took to Facebook and, said, pray for Dolly, and Dolly had to kind of come out and say that she was going through some health, issues, but she will be okay. Just last week, I believe there was something else that she had canceled due to health. She had also been grieving the loss of her husband, who passed away last year as well. So we knew that her health wasn't great, but, it's just, I don't think anybody thought this is what would happen. But to sum up Dolly Parton and her career, Kira, I don't think we have enough time. You mentioned that she came to Nashville after high school in 1964. She became one of country music.
I just learned today that she wrote two of the biggest songs of the 20th century on the same day. She wrote I Will Always Love You and 9 to 5 on the same day. Mind-blowing.
Defining singer and songwriters. Her signature catalog includes songs like Jolene, Coat of Many Colors, 9 to 5, and of course, I Will Always Love You. That is a moment that I think of Dolly and that song so much. A lot of us know the Whitney Houston version of that as well. That she let her remake, and of course, but the original of Dolly, I Will Always Love You. She also crossed into film with 9 to 5, later Steel Magnolias, and I believe it was just last week her website announced that she had received 82 new global sale of certificates across 4.
She was on the Kardashians just a few months ago.
For Jolene and
I had that episode.
Netherlands for 9 to 5, also in Canada, so she was still very much selling and has a huge fan base. She also, as you mentioned, philanthropy was a big part of her and a part of her life. Imagination Library is something that she was a part of, which is a program that mailed books to children from when they were born all the way up to kindergarten. And it became a real defining piece of her philanthropy. But yeah, it's just, I'm in shock, Kira. I'm absolutely in shock. And I know, again, I'm currently in Nashville, and just walking into the grocery store and seeing strangers kind of consoling each other just shows you how impactful Dolly was.
I mean, not just a superstar, but I mean, a global
megastar
icon.
Yeah.
Megan, thank you so much. I want to bring.
Side Edition reporting it came as a bit of a shock.
Joining us, shock across the country over the death of American icon Dolly Parton. The legendary singer had been battling health problems in recent years. She passed away this morning in a Nashville hospital after being admitted 4 days ago with kidney and autoimmune issues. Stephen Fabian has more on what we've learned about Dolly's final days.
9 to 5. It's the news shocking the world.
Dolly Parton has passed away.
Country music has no bigger or more beloved star.
Country music legend Dolly Parton dead at age 80. Her nephew, Brian Seaver, made the heartbreaking announcement on social media,
announcing the passing of my Aunt Dolly, Rebecca Parton Dean. This video announcement is something Dolly asked of me years ago, before I fully absorbed it as a future reality.
Dolly's last public appearance took place 2 months ago when she surprised fans at the grand opening of her truck stop in Tennessee.
1, 2, 3.
Her health struggles got a lot of attention. Last year, she took to social media to calm worried fans.
Everybody thinks that I am sicker than I am. Do I look sick to you?
The legendary singer shared this video. The caption, "I ain't dead yet."
I wanted you to know that I'm not dying.
Our Megan Alexander lives in Nashville.
Today in Nashville, you would have thought the Queen of England had died. That is the impact that Dolly Parton had on this
She was bigger than the Queen of England.
world.
Last year was difficult for Dolly. In March, her husband, Carl Dean, of nearly 60 years, died. And on September 17th, she canceled an appearance at Dollywood due to an infection from a kidney stone. And earlier this month, Dolly opened up about her health issues wearing angel wings.
But I've had a few little health issues, and sometimes I get a little dizzy, and I get dehydrated.
Just 4 days ago, Dolly shared an update on her health battles and even suggested that she may continue entertaining fans using an avatar performing her greatest hits. She joked, "I won't have to show up, but I still get paid." What she didn't reveal was that she had just been admitted to Vanderbilt University Medical Center in Nashville.
We really know as much as Dolly has told us. She said she had some breathing problems. She had to rest. She was exhausted. She was tired. That was the extent of it. She always said she was being treated by her doctors. And she said, you know, she'll be back up and running when she's ready. So everyone expected the rebound to be Dolly on stage singing her hits.
Now, Dolly's nephew is sharing the news many feared.
I've imagined the heaviness of this moment, but haven't truly felt it until now.
Jolie, Jolie.
Yeah, she unfortunately had to cancel her Vegas residency. I think was going to take place at the end of last year. She was still wanting to be up on stage. Shit, her doing that halftime show they showed video of, that was just, what, 2 years ago?
Chloe, the reaction's coming in so fast that we can't even encapsulate.
Look at the papers in
all
front
these
of me.
papers
These
on our
are
desk.
all tributes.
Including the President of the United States. But you mentioned Miley Cyrus and their relationship. She's the goddaughter of Dolly Parton. We haven't heard yet from her, but she had kind of a mentoring, mothering relationship with a lot of people.
I mean, absolutely. Her relationship with Miley Cyrus was so close. Dolly Parton very close to her father, Billy Ray Cyrus, and really championing Miley as she crossed over from a child.
Didn't Jimmy Swaggart pass away 50 years ago? And if he did die, fucking good. Piece of shit.
Ever listened to Miley Cyrus's cover?
Fuck off with that bullshit. We're talking about Dolly.
Truly unbelievable. I mean, you have so many tributes. Henry Winkler, who I love, he just wrote, "What a sad day for America. What a sad day for the world. What a sad day for the Parton family."
Seriously, was that grifting piece of shit not already dead?
Then one can say you were a treasure on this earth. And you have Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, saying Dolly spent her whole life showing us what it means to lead with love.
He died last year.
His wife and I are so grateful to have known her. She lifted everyone up with her music.
I thought he died 20 years ago, to be honest.
I mean, there's just so many celebrities, too many.
Yes, the Fonz is still alive.
Curtis, Casey Musgraves, Reba McEntire, all talking about the impact that Dolly had on their lives and career.
Brian, she was so much larger than life. To say that she was an original, it feels like an understatement. How did she influence, to build on what Chloe just said, the entertainment world, the fashion world, just with her presence?
Right. You raise a good point, because she was kind of loud and different before it was cool. You know, she kind of set a new precedent for just being unequivocally, unapologetically flashy. And as the childhood version of herself says about this girl, the woman in her neighborhood was trashy. She owned it. She made it part of her brand. She made it part of the joke. But you can get away with that when you're Dolly Parton and have the level of talent, because once she opened her mouth and these songs came out of her, they were touching, and all of the glitz and the glam kind of melts away, and you're left with a song like...
Seriously, one of the greatest songwriters of the 20th century.
What you were really seeing was her heart, and that's what shined through in the things that she did charitably, in the conversations that she had, in the way that she connected with people. So it's easy to see at first glance when she walks in the room that there's an incredibly big personality walking into the room, but what you're left with is an incredible connection and a moving experience through her music.
Do you want to pick up on that?
I have to just say, Brian said it so well, she was no dumb blonde. This was a woman that is the epitome of do not judge a book by its cover. Dolly Parton was so much more than just an incredible songwriter and music artist, which, by the way, we could stop right there, and that would be...
What does that mean? Don't judge her by her giant tits?
She did at a time when women were not doing things like Dolly World and starting foundations and all of the charitable things that she has done, while some...
Speaking of which, if anybody in the world ever deserved a titty slap...
A titty slap!
Come on now. That one's for you, Dolly.
How remaining pretty apolitical, a devout Christian, but also supporting the LGBTQ plus community. This is a woman that, to be honest, I grew up in the South. I've lived here in the Northeast for 20 years. I've really never heard anybody utter anything bad about Dolly Parton.
Yeah, check on your friends from the South. They're probably not good today.
And that's why you see someone like President Donald Trump saying that he wants the flags at half-mast for a week. That is just not something that you see, even with some of the greatest legends that we've seen both on screen and in music.
Brian, she did live this outwardly public life, you know, so flamboyant in public as a performer, but incredibly private about her personal life, except when she wanted to do an interview or speak about it, she sort of controlled that messaging. Do you think that added to the mystique?
I think there is you know, obviously the question was, is she wearing the big wigs and the big glitzy outfits at home? What does she wear? What does she look like when she wakes up in the morning? People want to know that sort of thing. And people have tried to get a little bit of an answer from Dolly about
Still probably pimped the fuck out.
And she has said that she's gone.
I can imagine that her pajamas are insane or were insane. Look at that outfit. That's so awesome.
Tried to get a little bit of an answer from Dolly about what Dolly behind closed doors looks like. And she has said that she's gone out in places in disguise, and for her, disguise is being low key, you know, maybe being less flashy. But that was, I think, part of the beauty. There are very few celebrities now, thanks to social media, that really keep much guarded. I think the more beautiful aspect of her guarded life was her relationship with her husband. That seemed to be the one thing that was kind of sacred and precious, and that she wasn't willing to give. You know, she gave just enough, and what she gave us was that she had an incredible love for Carl, and by all accounts she was devastated at his loss. And so, but to your point, getting what we got from Dolly, I think we were all able to understand that she had to keep a little bit for herself, and that private life, we were willing to make that sacrifice because she gave so much else in every other aspect of her life.
Chloe, one other thing strikes me. When I mention celebrity names to my children who are in their 20s, a lot of them, they have no idea who I'm talking about. If it's someone who got popular in the 70s or the 80s, Dolly Parton crosses every generation, I think.
I mean, Dolly was on the Beyonce album. Dolly has been on multiple Miley Cyrus songs. Dolly Parton, very well known to the kids nowadays.
It's like
from
Michael
the oldest
Jackson
to the youngest, everybody knows.
I mean, when we're in the car, whether it's my kids asking me to play Thriller or this techno version of Jolene that we love, all of the Dolly Parton remixes, and Diana Ross too. I mean, she is someone that just transcends time, right? And it's somebody that when you hear her music, it doesn't feel dated. It feels like a classic. And that is what's so special about her, is that
I think I've heard that techno version of Jolene before.
To Brian's point, she wrote these songs, and many of them inspired by her incredibly humble beginnings. I mean, just go take a listen to The Coat of Many Colors today. I mean, just the empathy in her voice, and that voice. Can we just talk about that iconic voice?
Brian, we have like 30 seconds. Just one last thought from you.
Well, I just have to say, you know, this is a woman who could have retired decades ago, but she was doing what she loved. She loved sharing her gift with the world, and we're so grateful to have gotten it. And when she sang, I Will Always Love You, the feeling is mutual.
Aren't we all lucky? Brian Balthazar, Chloe Malas, thank you so much.
We thank you for watching.
Shut up, Tom Llama.
Updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or watch.
Nobody asked you. We are going to go Twitch only here in about 30 minutes. We're going to watch a plethora of Dolly Parton entertainment. Her appearances on multiple TV shows, her hosting Saturday Night Live. We're going to watch. I've got 2 different concerts. Rest in peace, Dolly. We're going to do a little bit of news. We're going to do a little bit of news before we wrap it up and go Twitch only and do our Dolly tribute. Go to Steve Kornacki to give us the rundown of what's going on in South Carolina. Man, the polls have gotten close. It is within a percentage point between Darlene Graham and Ralph Norman in South Carolina.
And joining me now is Chief Capitol Hill correspondent Ryan Nobles. He's on the road in South Carolina, and NBC's chief data analyst Steve Kornacki. He's at the big board, of course. So, Ryan, you're on the trail. Tell us what you are hearing from talking with voters today. What are they getting at when it comes to this race, which is a runoff?
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few obvious themes that are emerging in this race, Kelly, and that is, are South Carolina voters willing to trust President Trump and put their support behind Darlene Graham, despite the fact that they don't know a lot about where she may end up politically, what type of senator she will be, because she just doesn't have a track record, a legislative track record.
She doesn't have a track record, but her fucking brother was the senator for 30 years.
Someone they know, someone who not only served for a significant amount of time in Congress, but also served in the state legislature.
She even looks like her brother.
South Carolina. It's becoming a battle between endorsements and experience, and we found voters that are sitting on both sides of this fence. Take a listen. Are you worried that she doesn't have a lot of experience?
No, one of the main things to me that she's not part of the establishment. You know, it's just she's going up there to me fresh, and she's going to learn.
President Trump's endorsement is...
She's not part of the establishment, but she's Trump's hand-picked replacement for Lindsey. Doesn't make any sense.
Does that play any role in your decision?
Not in my decision at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. No, I think that whoever goes in there needs to be independent, whether it's Republican or Democrat. They need to vote what's right for the country.
And South Carolina, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing that bothers me so much. Lindsey had a lot of experience and a lot of power, and we're going to miss that.
And so the question is, where will this momentum ultimately end up? You do get a sense that President Trump going all in, showing up here on Friday, doing the tele-rally.
They haven't talked about the closing in the polls.
$1,000 from his political arm could be the
last poll I saw was
and a loss for Darlene Graham.
0.1%.
We don't always see that degree of investment from the president.
Separating the two of
He had
them.
a long, good relationship with Lindsey Graham that began as competitors and ultimately became a trusted relationship. Darlene Graham is really new to the scene and is getting the benefit of the president's political weight. Do you think he feels like he has something on the line? Not getting into the mind of the president, but do you see evidence of that playing out among voters?
Well, we might have gotten a glimpse into what the president is thinking about all of this over the weekend when he posted on his Truth Social account what appeared to be some bit of expectation setting, and pointing out that some of the endorsements that he makes during this primary season are born out of loyalty, not out of who he thinks have the best shot at winning the race. And sometimes he tells folks that they've got no chance of winning. They run anyway, but he endorses them and they end up losing. Now, in Darlene Graham's case, he has very publicly stated that she has what it takes to run. He's even said that he asked her to run. So that is a different scenario here. There's no question that if she wins or loses, Donald Trump will be able to get the credit, and he will certainly get a degree of the blame. The one thing we found being here, Kelly, is that there's not this universal transfer of political capital from Trump to Graham. There are folks that are saying, I support Donald Trump, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's enough for Darlene Graham. So we'll have to see how that plays out here tonight.
Thank you so much, Ryan. And of course, this is a new 6-year term.
Wild that she's
the
not
remainder of the term for her brother.
picking up her brother's support.
Get a sense of what the map might tell us about what does Ralph Norman have to do, what does Senator Graham have to do to be successful for a full 6 years in the United States Senate.
Yeah, Kelly, a couple hours from now, the map will start filling in, but maybe as a reference point, we'll take you back to what it looked like in the preliminary here. Graham and Norman finishing 1-2 to make this runoff. A couple of things. Obviously, look, Graham got a third of the vote, so she's got a long way to go to get up to 50%. And something else to keep in mind, obviously, her brother, Lindsey Graham,
An almost 10-point win. I thought she was going to run away with it.
Carolina was
name value alone, but
relationship. Graham, just prior to his
that's not what the polls are showing.
Re-election in a Republican primary, vastly fundraised his opponent. He only got 56% of the vote in that primary. So that Graham name comes with a lot of advantages, but it could come with some drawbacks for Darlene Graham as well. Take a look, though, at how it broke down between Graham and Norman in the primary and what it means for tonight. Well, Norman, his congressional district, 5th congressional district, is based right here outside Charlotte, Rock Hill, York County. He won there, not surprisingly, but his support extended really all the way across the upstate here. Greenville, Spartanburg County. These are major hubs in the Republican Republican primary. Greenberg and Spartanburg counties together are going to cast probably 20% of all the votes statewide. These were big numbers for Norman in the primary, and these are also places where Lindsey Graham in his political career, these tended to be where he put up his worst numbers in Republican primaries. So Norman can get potentially a lot out of the upstate tonight. Where is Graham looking to counter that? I think one place to keep an eye on is right here. This is sort of, they call this the PD region, Myrtle Beach here, then going inland, northeast South Carolina. The third candidate here, Russell Fry, this was his congressional district. He swept the district in the primary here. Now, since that primary, Fry has turned around. He's endorsed Darlene Graham. When Trump came to South Carolina to campaign for Darlene Graham, he went right here to Myrtle Beach, to the 7th Congressional District. These are older Republican voters. A lot of
By the way, we saw a man get thrown out. If you watched that rally with me on Friday night, there was a man that was thrown out. He was wearing a shirt that said, "Kill your local pedophile." He actually commented on my video about him getting thrown out, and I've asked him to come on the show, and I've not heard back from him. So, hopefully we bring him on. He seems like he's a fucking libertarian nut job, but it'd be fun to talk to him. But he got thrown out of the Myrtle Beach rally for wearing a shirt that said, "Kill your local pedophile."
Retirees here tends to be a very pro-Trump, MAGA-oriented Republican vote here. For Graham, the question here isn't just winning the 7th Congressional District. She needs to win it big, because if Norman can get big numbers out of the vote-rich upstate and Graham can counter it in the 7th Congressional District, then where would we look? We would look to the Midlands. We would look to Columbia. We would look to Lexington County, the suburbs of the state capital there. That could become really sort of contested terrain tonight.
This is such quintessential Kornacki, really diving into the map. I learned a lot from that, so thank you. Very briefly, we also want to check in on Oklahoma and the governor's race there. Also attest to the president's endorsement. What are you seeing?
Yeah, take a look here. This, call it up on the screen here. This Republican runoff again. This was the preliminary. Gettner Drummond, the state attorney general, Mike Mazzei. Look, it was only 1,100 votes separating them in the preliminary. Trump is behind Mazzei. And not only is he behind Mazzei in this, he's also been going after Drummond. So he's been telling Republicans not only is he for Mazzei, he's very against Drummond. This is what it looked like in the preliminary. We'll see tonight as it comes in. But Trump's got something on the line in both states, clearly.
Well, Steve, stay hydrated. You got a long evening ahead. Thank you so much.
Stay hydrated, Steve. I'm sorry.
Breaking news and top.
Shut up, Tom Llama.
Or watch live on our YouTube channel.
Wes, what the fuck are you talking about? Like Bill Clinton said during the Epstein Island days about his relationship with Monica Lewinsky? What? What are you talking about? It's so wild that you bring up Bill Clinton in relationship to Epstein. It's Trump who was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein. It's Trump who was blocking the release of the Epstein files. It's Trump who was blocking the investigation into Zorro Ranch in New Mexico. And we weren't even talking about Epstein. The fuck? And you just come in here talking about Bill Clinton, my Orthodox Jewish rabbi, Bill Clinton. Oh, god damn. But if you do want to bring up Epstein, I can go here. I wasn't going to do it. Trump, we still think, eyeing a pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell. That's her only hope that she has left, is that Trump will pardon her for her silence or dirt on Clinton or something. Because today her final legal avenue went goodbye as a judge denied her.
A federal judge is rejecting Ghislaine Maxwell's challenge to her conviction in a case tied to Jeffrey Epstein. She was convicted on 5 felony counts, sentenced to 20 years in prison for allegedly helping Epstein sexually abuse young girls. Maxwell argued documents released in the Epstein files supported her claims of constitutional violations.
I don't think so, and apparently a judge was not swayed by her argument. Trump likes him young, too. We know this. How much younger is Natalie Hart than him? Like almost 50 years? The White House apparently been going through and cropping photos that contain Harp, cropping her out of photos with the president.
All right, people on the internet are asking if the White House is trying to distance itself from Natalie Harp. The official X page for the White House posted this video of Trump waving the green flag at the Freedom 250 Grand Prix Sunday. The internet quickly noticed that Natalie Harp was
that big dumb goof
out of the photo. And Harp has been stealing headlines since that jab from Senate candidate John Ossoff.
Now, to be fair, they're reaching there because that's just the size of a GIF. It's more boxy than the 16:9 format.
And Harp has been stealing headlines since that jab from Senate candidate John Ossoff. That was more than a week ago. Then there was this leak of her letters, things she had written to the president, moments when she called herself unworthy of him. And now people are looking at her deleted tweets, which show her support for the president on January 6th and after. Reports that she was also the one behind a racist Truth Social video that depicted the Obamas as apes. So, is her spotlight getting too bright? I'm bringing in Maggie Haberman, White House correspondent with the New York Times.
Oh, God, Maggie
She's also
Haberman.
the co-author of the new book, Regime Change, Inside the Imperial Presidency of Donald Trump. So I don't.
Haberman is a grifter.
Has taken on legs longer than some bickering from the candidate from Georgia, and one of the things I noticed right away was that leak of letters of hers. It felt as though somebody.
Is she going to insinuate that it was Caroline Leavitt? That is what the scuttlebutt on the internet is, that it was Caroline Leavitt that leaked these letters that Natalie Harp had written to Trump, which are fucking crazy. Have you guys read them? Do I need to read them?
Like the call was maybe coming from the inside of the House. And is she making enemies in the White House?
Jonathan and I get into this pretty, not extensively in the book, but we do write about Natalie Harp and how purely devotional she is to Donald Trump. Those letters were left, and we write about them again in the book, in his personal spaces during the interregnum period when he was out of office. One of them said, "You are all that matters to me." These letters and some of her behavior alarmed people around the president, then candidate, including the Secret Service. And they spoke to people about what was happening at the time. She is now, there's two factors here, Artie. One is she is 10 feet away from him in the Oval Office all the time. She supplies him not with all of his information. He obviously gets intelligence briefings and so forth that she doesn't prepare, but she provides him sort of this alternate version of information, including that plays into his view of the deep state, in his words, of his own government, of being suspicious of what he is being told.
Of his own government.
We took with him on that plane when the older Air Force One was a decoy plane. Very small group of people. So that's part of why there is a focus. It matters not because, the salacious implications aside that the senator did and others have done. It matters because she's in government and she's close to the president.
People are also pointing out.
Gender Fluid asked me to read the letters with a voice. I don't know if I can do a voice. Can I put on a bimbo voice? Are you talking about me, Devoy? What do you think I align with? So this is the Natalie Harp letter to Donald Trump. I'm sorry, I thought I was the only one left behind last night and had no idea Margot's car was also pulled over and sent back to the airport. Since I was alone in the van outside customs without my passport, I panicked and should have just called Secret Service instead of you. I also am sorry if I was an embarrassment walking the course in Scotland. That's the picture you guys have seen. The first day I was told there were no carts and people walked, which is why I walked. The second day I was specifically asked by, I forget who his name was, but one of the main people who worked there, if I could continue walking and tell any other girls who would head out there to do the same to spare the course any more carts. If there is anything else I have done to cause you trouble, please forgive me. I know this sounds like an abuse victim. I know that some people have said I haven't been texting them back, and there have been some international cell issues. John was having technical issues on the plane too, so asked me to help him out. I want things to always be right between us. I also know I've been distracted all week, forgetting to eat throughout the days and even forgetting to sleep, and only catching a couple of hours at a time. I haven't been myself, dwelling on the past and the pain of losing my dad. And I started letting the remarks of people who haven't bothered me before get to me, not because I care what others think, but because I see myself being lowered in your eyes and good opinion. That is the fear, you see, because I never want to bring you anything but joy. I'm sorry I lost my focus. You are all that matters to me. I don't want to ever let you down. Thank you for being my guardian and protector in this life. That's what I wanted to use this card for when you saw me at the cash register, and once again did what you didn't have to do and gifted me with mementos of this trip of a lifetime, a coming of age. I will return a better person. I have to sign off now as the cards are leaving. See you soon. With all my heart, Natalie. That is a, 27-year-old writing to an 80-year-old that shits himself? Fucking weird.
Come on, man.
I thought there was another one. Isn't there a second letter? Or they don't have the actual letter, just the contents of it. You know, brother, wouldn't have pulled my comment up if you had an issue being a commie, brainwashed, leftist piece of shit. What? What are you talking about? I'm not even a communist. I actually run my own business that makes me a capitalist. I don't know how I'm brainwashed. I am a leftist, I will admit that. I can probably define commie, unlike you, though. Would you like to talk to me? I take calls and comments. You seem like you've got something to say. Gender fluid, Torgy, T-. Devoy over on the YouTube. Warlord. Peevel, my friend. LJ Bruce over on YouTube. James. Good to see you guys. Buffalo Calzone. Sports Cards. Wes. James. Good people in here. Good to see you all. Dennis, P. Williams, White Q over on the YouTubes. Donna Prater. Sorry if I missed anybody. Avalon. Good evening, friends. That one dude was like Jimmy Swaggart died, and Jimmy Swaggart died over a year ago. And let me tell you, Dolly Parton, way better person than Jimmy Swaggart. Jimmy Swaggart was a grifter. Trump apparently upset with Doug Ford, the premier of Ontario, threatening to rename the Lake of Ontario.
Meanwhile, President Trump is floating the idea of renaming Lake Ontario. The president saying that he is considering calling it Lake America. Lake Ontario is the easternmost of the 5 Great Lakes and shares its name with Canada's largest province by population. The lake serves as the U.S. and Canadian border in New York State.
Dylan on YouTube says he likes Jimmy Savile. That's very weird because Jimmy Savile was a pedophile. And, like, I don't know how they let that motherfucker around kids all those years, because he didn't look like somebody that you'd want to let around kids. Holiday, welcome in. Couple months ago, we covered an Air Force captain, I think he was on the steps of Congress protesting Donald Trump, asking that he be impeached and removed. He is now facing charges, I think, from a court-martial.
A rare criminal case is being brought against a U.S. airman over comments he made about President Trump. Major Jason Watson is being accused of breaching the Uniform Code of Military Justice. That's the reason for his arrest. According to charging documents, his violations are for, quote, contemptuous remarks he allegedly made about the commander-in-chief. I want to bring in CBS News senior national security correspondent Charlie D'Agata. So, Charlie, what do you make of the case?
A lot to be made. Good morning, Kelly. Well, first of all, to say it's rare.
Well, he knew what he was doing. He knew he could be arrested, prosecuted, court-martialed for what he was doing. But he felt that so strongly that he was upholding the Constitution by speaking out against Trump.
We believe this is the first time a major has even been charged of this alleged crime. Under Article 88, as you mentioned, this kind of thing would normally be handled behind closed doors as like an internal matter with the military. And it's the contemptuous part that you said. That's Article 88, which makes it a criminal offense for commissioned uniformed officer, by the way, to use contemptuous words against major civilian leaders, including like the president, the vice president, Congress, etc. Makes it worse, he was in uniform. You may recall back in July, he took to the steps of the Capitol, holding up that sign that read impeach, convict, remove, obviously referring to President Trump. He was first detained back then, but then he was detained again last week when he went on CNN and had this to say about the president.
No, I missed him going on CNN.
As president, he is flagrantly violating the Constitution,
flagrantly
breaking the law, engaged in rampant corruption, and is killing Americans.
Now, his own attorney said Watson fully expected to be arrested, and he stands by what he said. Vlad?
So I guess, Charlie, and we were talking about this earlier on CBS Mornings, all soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, Coast Guardsmen have to get if they're going to talk to the press, if they're going to talk to you on the record, they have to talk to their commanding officer and perhaps even public affairs, right? And maybe you can break down that process for our audience, because since you cover the Pentagon. But the question that I have is, if you don't do that, if you go outside the chain of command, is that illegal?
Yeah, well, Vlad, there are several interesting points that we have to touch on there. First of all, it's not even clear which charges that he's facing. And that's kind of where the debate begins, because it puts at odds First Amendment rights against what you said, the military's vast restrictions on a uniformed officer speaking to the media, protests, whatever. So there are other more traditional charges, if you want to put it that way, that you and I are more familiar with, right? The Uniform Code of Military Justice, like failure to obey regulations, conduct unbecoming an officer, that's part of it too. But legal experts are going to have to determine like what contemptuous means in this particular example, because as I said, there's no real legal precedence here. And it's not even clear yet whether this will go to a criminal trial or a military court-martial. So we believe that Watson is currently in a kind of military hold, what the military describes as pretrial confinement. And the next few steps, it's down to legal interpretation and honestly how the military, including the Air Force, decide how to handle this.
Wow. All right. Charlie D'Agata reporting for us. Charlie, thank you.
Thank you.
So Trump can wipe his ass with the Constitution, get Americans killed, rape kids, and face no consequences for it. That motherfucker can call him out on breaking the Constitution and gets locked up. That's the world that we're living in. We've been following a couple different manhunts the last couple of days. Had the one in Massachusetts. Went through the end of last week. Wrapped up last night with the suspect dead. We had the manhunt in Oregon. Suspect was neutralized. Shot himself in his car in Washington. After a quintuple homicide, this manhunt taking place Throughout the day in Colorado today, a suspect shot 2 troopers during a traffic stop early this morning. Has been on the run. They have apparently apprehended. I believe he has been shot and taken into custody. So shot but lived after a manhunt taking place all day today throughout Colorado.
We are following breaking news out of Teller County, where a suspect is now in custody after 2 Colorado State troopers were shot. We're told one has serious injuries and the other has minor injuries. Welcome to 9 News at 10. I'm Evan Krugel. Those troopers were able to get themselves to the hospital where they're being treated.
He's Evan Krugel? Is that what he said his name was? Evan Krugel?
Welcome to 9 News at 10. I'm Evan Krugel. Those troopers were able to get themselves to the hospital where they're being treated this morning. Details are still limited, but we do know those troopers were conducting a traffic stop when they were shot. This is a look of the scene just west of Woodland Park moments ago from Sky 9. A shelter-in-place order was issued but has since been lifted for that area. You can see a large law enforcement response as SWAT teams on the ground and in the air searched for that suspect, ultimately focusing in on this home. We have also now been able to hear the moment the troopers notified dispatch they had been shot.
Shot fired. I'm hit. Heavy medical. I'm at Pine Court and Highway 24. White male. Blonde hair. It's a blue. No place on the Subaru. Are you okay, sir? Man, you still want to come out and get me. I've been shot in the neck. I've been shot in the shoulder, in the ribs.
Now here's a look at the man law enforcement was searching for until just moments ago. He was described as tall with brown shoulder-length hair. Investigators say he was driving this blue Subaru Impreza hatchback that you're looking at. We're told the plate numbers were...
Cops always make such a big deal about being shot in the face.
More information, we will continue to bring you updates both on air and online. But again, the latest is that suspect.
Is it weird that I'm flipped out by the fact that, like, big tough guy with a gun in, like, the pussiest car you can imagine? Like, what is this thing? Some kind of hybrid little mini egg SUV. I'm sorry. Lenny, Torgy, Dylan. Oh, fuck. Holiday, to tell you good evening. It's an Impreza? Is that what it is? An Impreza. Sounds like a pussy vehicle. This may or may not be our animal video for the day. We'll see how adorable it is. A bear encountered 2 coyotes. One of the coyotes, the bigger coyote, appeared to look after the smaller coyote.
Well, here in SoCal, we see coyotes and bears pretty often, especially in the foothill neighborhoods, but
that don't impress me much.
This. Take a look at this. A bear crossing paths with 2 coyotes. This was in Tarzana, just a couple miles from busy Ventura Boulevard and the 101 freeway. A homeowner captured it on his Ring camera.
I believe this is a mistitled headline here because the coyote looks like the bully. It says the coyote chases bear away, but like that bear was minding its own business. Coyote came up to it. I'm on the coyote side here.
We're pretty sure we've never seen this. Take a look at this. A bear crossing paths with 2 coyotes. This was in Tarzana, just a couple miles from busy Ventura Boulevard and the 101 freeway. A homeowner captured it on his Ring camera. Now, you might think the bear would have the advantage here, but one of the coyotes was very small, so we're guessing the other was Mom, and she took charge.
The bigger coyote was really trying to keep the bear away from the little one. And several times it went toward the bear just to kind of protect the little one, you know. I just thought, oh my God, I can't wait to show us to somebody.
He says even after the bear got the message and trotted off, the coyote charged a few more times to make sure the bear kept its distance and kept on walking.
The bear was just minding its own business. It's looking for the bare necessities. It's like a baby bear or a teenage bear.
A couple miles from busy Ventura Boulevard.
It ain't very big.
A homeowner captured it on his Ring camera. Now, you might think the bear would have the advantage here.
They said less than a mile from the 101.
Guessing. The other was Mom, and she took charge.
The bigger coyote was really trying to keep the bear away from the little one. And several times it went toward the bear just to kind of...
All right, Twitch people, we're going to do a tribute to Dolly Parton. I've got all kinds of her TV appearances, concerts.
The bear got the message and trotted off.
YouTube people, if you want to be able to... Facebook people, if you want to be able to watch with us, come over. JustinFREAKIN on Twitch.
Ventura Boulevard.
YouTube people, Facebook people, podcast people.
Captured it.
Light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack.
Advantage here.
JustinFREAKIN. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Troll Patrol. Live.
She took charge.
The bigger coyote was really trying to keep the bear away from the little one. And several times